Good afternoon, Year 7. The purpose of this video is to discuss how we can classify living things. The first thing we have to do to classify a living thing is decide whether it is living. All living things can respire, they can grow, they can reproduce, they respond to stimuli, and they excrete waste. All living things can be divided into one of 5 very big categories, which are called kingdoms. The 5 kingdoms include the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, the fungi kingdom, the protist kingdom, and the Monerian kingdom. Now, there is an incredible variety of living things that would all belong to a single kingdom. If you think about all of the possible animals, for example, we are going to need smaller categories if we're ever going to make any sense of all of those living things. There are 7 layers of classification, and as we move down through the layers, each group gets more specific, and there are a fewer number of living things in that group. Those living things that belong to that group are more similar to one another. The 7 layers of classification include kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Let's look at an example. Consider the 7 living things that you see on your screen. Put your pens down for a moment and just consider which one of these 7 living things is least like the others. The jellyfish is least like the other things because the jellyfish does not have a backbone like all of the others do. All of these living things belong to the same phylum, which is the phylum of animals which have backbones. Of these 6 backboned animals, one of them does not have fur. So the cockatoo is least like the others. Now we've moved on to an even smaller category of living things. These living things that you see here on your screen right now all have fur. 4 of them survive by eating meat, but one of them does not. So the mouse does not belong to the group of animals called carnivores. The remaining 4 things are all backboned animals who have fur, feed milk to their young, and survive on meat as adults. 3 of them are cats, but the bear is not a cat. So now we're down as far as a group of animals that belong to the cat family. 2 of these cats can roar, but one of them cannot. So the domestic cat does not belong to the same genus as these other 2 animals do. Both the tiger and the lion belong to the same genus, being a group of cats who roar. But what is a species? 2 animals are members of the same species if they can breed and if the offspring they produce can also breed. Lions and tigers are both members of the genus called Panthera, which, as we discussed, means cats that roar. They can produce offspring, and their offspring are called ligers or tigons. But ligers and tigons cannot breed. They are sterile. Therefore, lions and tigers are not the same species, even though they are members of the same genus. All living things are given a scientific name. That way, everybody knows exactly what organism we mean, no matter what language we speak. Scientific names are made up of the organism's genus and its species name, the name is written in italics or it is underlined. So of the two remaining animals that we've discussed today, the scientific name of the lion is Panthera leo, and the scientific name of the tiger is Panthera tigris. Both of these are Latin names. Latin is chosen as the language for scientific naming because Latin is a language that is not spoken out loud anymore. So it can't change and evolve over time the way that English can. So you've learned a number of things here today. You've learned how to decide if something is living or not living, how to group animals that are living, and what is the meaning of a scientific name. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in class tomorrow.